boyfriend's dreams are starting to scare me. Written by Late Night Stories. My name is Harley, and I've been with my boyfriend Dan for 5 years. Live with him for free. I love Dan more than anything in this world. He's my best friend, my partner in crime, my biggest pest, and my #1 supporter. I honestly couldn't imagine my life without him anymore. We both work in the food service industry. He's a chef and I'm a surfer. Food is his biggest passion. While being a line cook doesn't pay much, it's worth to see him do something he loves. Working in food service means we work some pretty weird hours. It's not uncommon for us to get off until after midnight, come home, quickly scarf down our dinner, and head up to bed and sleep until around 11 AM or 12 PM. Dan's a much easier time falling asleep than I do. Most nights, as soon as his head touches the pillow, he's out like a light. I, on the other hand, struggle a bit more to settle my mind and get comfortable. This usually leads to me plugging my headphones in to watch YouTube or scroll through Reddit until I fall asleep, or trying not to move or make too much noise that would wake him. Though he's a pretty heavy sleeper, so I never have to worry about it. Dan has always been a very animated dreamer. He talks in his sleep every single night. Sometimes he even sings or raps. When we first started sleeping together, he would speak so clearly, I honestly thought he was awake. Sometimes I like to talk to him while he's asleep and tell him about the little nocturnal conversations in the morning. He also had a tendency to sleepwalk on occasions, which can be a bit worrisome. Dan sleeps naked, and I can very well just let him walk around the apartment in his birthday suit in the middle of the night. Recently, through his dreams, they've been getting a lot weirder. When I say recently, I mean within the past year. I started with what seemed like a few bad dreams. I always kept one earphone out, just in case he says something funny, or if he gets out of bed and I need to hear. One night, Dan began tossing and turning, and whimpering, literally whimpering like a scared puppy. Suddenly, he rolled over to me, his eyes wide open, and his expression was terrified and frantic. "Ollie?" he called out in a trembling voice. The fact that he didn't see me, even though his eyes were open, was enough to me to realise he was still asleep. Hey, it's okay," I cooed quietly, and gently cupped his face in my hands. "I'm right here, everything's alright." Dan let out a relieved sigh before snuggling against me, pulling my body tight against his. The rest of the night, any time I moved his eyes would shoot it open again, with the same frantic expression, and I'd have to cool him down and let him know I wasn't going anywhere. I asked about it the next morning, but he said he didn't remember a thing. Though he said he had a really weird dream, but he couldn't remember what about. This went on for about 3 days. Next 2 nights after that were calm, and I figured he just had a few bad dreams due to some stress from work. About a week after that, give or take a few days, something even weirder happened. We were laying on the bed like normal when suddenly Dan got up and walked over to our bedroom window. I pulled my earphone out and called him, "Dan, what are you doing, baby?" At first, he didn't answer, so I called him again, and he placed his finger on the glass as if he was pointing something outside. "They're coming," he muttered. "Who's coming?" I was starting to get a bit worried, so I made my way over to the window to see what he was talking about. We live in a 2nd-story studio apartment on the side of a fairly busy road. It's not uncommon to see people walking or driving by, even late at night. That wouldn't explain what he was talking about. "They want inside." Dan suddenly wrapped his arms around my waist in an almost possessive or protective manner. "We can't let them in. I won't let them in. I won't let them hurt you. They were sort of freaked out. I simply smiled and led Dan back to bed. Every night for a month after that, Dan would get out of bed and either walk to stand in front of our window or in front of our door. He would mutter something about not letting them in or letting them get closer. Before I would pull him back to bed. Every morning I would ask him, and he'd tell me he had no clue what I was talking about. Something else seemed strange about him though. During the day he wasn't any more fatigued than usual. Didn't seem paranoid or scared. Everything was fine until he'd go to bed. One night he jolted out of bed suddenly and ran to the door. I was worried he might run out, so I jumped out of bed to stop him. "They're here," he yelled in a panic. Before I could even ask what Dan was going on when he went on the defence, he started screaming at the door, telling them to leave. They weren't allowed to come in, they weren't welcome. For every passing minute he seemed to become more and more agitated. "You can't have him," he yelled, before punching a hole in the wall next to it. Daniel Thomas. Screaming his name like that seemed to startle him awake enough. What? He looked around confused and whined about his hand hurting. I led him to the bathroom, patched up the little gash across his knuckle, and led him back to bed. It was out like a light again, as soon as his knees touched the bed. While he didn't talk the rest of the night, he still tossed and turned a bit. I was becoming steadily more concerned, as this didn't seem to be a recurring nightmare. Whatever was happening was very real. Him at least. I tried asking him to see a doctor or a therapist. He said there was no purpose in wasting money until he felt fine. I thought maybe I was just jumping to conclusions. Maybe I was just paranoid. Till a few nights ago when Dan suddenly sat him in bed. I was prepared to bring him back to bed from the door, but he didn't get out. He just stared into the darkest corner of our room, which is next to our dresser. "Dan?" "They're here," he whispered, without moving. They got in. His eyes were wide open and focused in one corner. "Dan, you're freaking me out." Suddenly that attention turned to me. "They aren't off this world, but they're trapped. They're angry. They feast in the dark and want to devour your light. Don't let them take your light, Harley. Don't let them. I won't let them hurt you." I could feel my heart sink into the pit of my stomach. His voice was so serious and his eyes bored into mine. He pulled me closer and pressed my head against his chest. I could hear his heart beating under my ear, and tried to use that to forget about what he just said. Late though, I'm becoming more fearful. I started seeing shadows move in the dark parts of our apartment. Our electric bill has shot through the roof from me trying to keep the lights on at all times. I haven't been able to sleep right because I've been having these nightmares that wake me up screaming in a cold sweat. I can never remember what they're about. I don't know what's happening, but my boyfriend's dreams are starting to scare me.